For the 100% cheapest coins on the internet with reliable delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor MMOEXP by clicking the link at the top of the description and use code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Salsa family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 21 video on the channel, and in today's video, get your pens and pencils out, class is in session. You guys heard me right, lineup Dr. Swift is here for MUT team reviews. Let's go! Now, this is easily your guys' favorite series on the channel. If you guys do want another episode, scroll down and leave a like, and if you're interested in getting reviewed, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter and wait for me to put out a tweet just like this, reply with photos of your team, and let's get into the video. So let's get after it and into lineup number 1. Now, the way I'm going to be formatting this video is we'll go over the offense, talk about what I like and what I don't like, and potentially some upgrades, and then we go over the defense and do the exact same thing, and at the end of the video, I'll give your team a score out of 10. So for team number 1 right here, he's rocking with Aaron Rodgers at QB, AK at running back, Isaac Bruce, Julio Jones, and Marvin Harrison at wide receiver. He's got Darren Waller at tight end, and my initial thoughts on the offense are it's pretty solid. The first thing I would probably do is maybe pick up a new center for overall purposes. Kevin Mawai does have a higher overall card. I believe it's actually a 50 card that's a 96 overall, only selling for around 150k, so that's probably an upgrade you want to make there at center. Really easy and just kind of for overall purposes and to make sure we've got someone solid at the center spot. Now, otherwise, I love Julio Jones at wide receiver. That is easily my favorite receiver in this game. Marvin Harrison is an incredibly underrated receiver as well. He's able to get up to 99 speed, Roner archetype, so he's a really good card. And then Alvin Kamara at running back is sick. I love Aaron Rodgers. The only other thing you could potentially grind for in this offense is the new 98 overall Alvin Kamara that was a limited time card, so I would say your next move is Mawai and then AK after that. Now, getting on over to the defense, I am a big fan of this team based on the way you constructed this defense. A lot of good budget players and some solid players at a lot of positions. He's gonna have Xavier Rhodes, William Jackson, and Deion Sanders at corner. I love those 3 corners right there. He's got Derwin and Isaiah at strong safety, 2 really good players. LT and Jadeveon Clowney to come off the edge for you in pass rushing situations. Micah Hyde, a very underrated free safety. Let's get into my favorite cards and maybe some upgrades on the defense. Now, I don't see a whole ton of stuff to improve here. I would say my favorite players on the defense are probably William Jackson and Derwin James. William Jackson is an insane corner, 99 speed, and he's honestly not that hard to obtain. The only other upgrade we could maybe make is maybe using a power-up pass on Aaron Donald. He does have a 97 overall limited time honors card. You can use a pass on that with one of your 97s, so that would potentially be a move there for Aaron Donald. I would say your main upgrades are Aaron, Alvin, and Kevin. We're going to give this team a 9 out of 10. I love the way it was constructed. The next squad right here is probably one of the best teams we will see in this entire video. Shout out to my guy Legend, if you guys know who he is from the streams. He is an absolute G. Now, getting into the players, they are just absolutely stacked. As you can see, he's got 399 overall running backs. I'm not going to go over every single card. Some of my favorite players on this team are Brent Favre and Julio Jones. I do quite like those players. He's rocking with Sprinter, so that's good right there. Jeremy Shockey at tight end, and honestly, there's not really any upgrades we can make here. Now, on the defense, there's actually a couple of things we can maybe switch around. Jamal Adams at strong safety probably isn't the move anymore. We can maybe pick up that Eric Berry card at strong safety. He will be an absolutely insane user for you. It looks like you're currently using with Isaiah Simmons. I would honestly give Eric Berry a shot. Otherwise, 99s across the board. What a team. Really good job with constructing this one. So the next team right here is coming in for my guy James. He's got Deshaun Watson at QB. I like to see that. Deshaun was actually a really good card for me earlier in the year. Very, very solid wide receivers. He's got Terry McLaurin, he's got Randy Moss and TK Metcalf. I would say I definitely like all those players. Darren Waller and Vernon Davis at tight end. I'm a fan of the offense right here. I would say that my favorite players are probably going to be the Deshaun Watson and the Terry McLaurin card. Those are both some really good players. Now, a couple things we can maybe do is maybe upgrade at running back. Edgerrin James is actually a really good running back for you if you do like to tote the ball fairly often. Obviously, he's not going to be insane as a pass catcher, but he'll actually get you 99 speed at the running back position. Now, I also do quite like Marvin Harrison at wide receiver. If we're maybe looking to pick up Marvin, we can actually bump him all the way up to wide receiver 1. I can see you've got him as a 97 overall, so you probably haven't gotten the full Ultimate Legend version, so we could bump Marvin up to number 1, and then the whole depth chart will shift down. DK Metcalf is a little bit slow at this point in the year, so we maybe make that upgrade there, and we probably also might want to upgrade at running back, but otherwise, the offense is looking nice. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I do quite like what you're doing right here. He's going to have Derwin James at safety. Very big fan of the Derwin card. Jamal Adams as well. Those are 2 almost must-have safeties right there. Now, William Jackson, Deion Sanders, and Rod Woodson is going to round out a fairly solid cornerback core. I'm a big fan of Justin Reed at the free safety spot. Really good card right there. Aaron Donald, Julius Peppers, those are going to be some good players. And Leroy Glover at DT. Now, we want to make sure we've got Leroy Glover up to a 99. That is going to be step number 1. Step number 2, we maybe pick up that Lawrence Taylor card. I can see you're actually rocking with some abilities on him, so I assume he's fairly important for you on your defense. You only have him at a 96 with chemistries, so I'm assuming you don't have his full card quite yet. That could maybe be the next upgrade for you, as I believe once you get LT, he goes up to a 98 with chem, so that's definitely something you can do. Otherwise, I like the team. We're going to give this team an 8.7 out of 10. Alright, boys. Now, next up, we do have a little bit of a lower overall team. I definitely like going over these lower overall squads. He is a Saints fan, and he does have Drew Brees at QB, as well as Alvin Kamara, and a very, very interesting rest to the offense. Now, Brian Bulaga is actually going to be a fairly solid budget tackle. Darren Waller's a good tight end card for you. He's got Eugene at wide receiver, Terry McLaurin as well. I don't know that I love the Keenan McCardell card. He's really not my favorite player at wide receiver. We might get into an upgrade there later on, but let's go over the offense and go over some of the upgrades. Now, like I kind of hinted to, I think we probably want to get rid of Keenan, and one of the upgrades we can actually maybe make is maybe going for someone like Isaac Bruce or Marvin Harrison. Those Ultimate Legends came out a while ago, so their prices aren't really that crazy, and they do still have some really good stats, so that could definitely be an upgrade at wide receiver. We're not going to be touching Drew at the QB position. I would say that's probably the main thing we want to do. We also had a couple of questions about abilities. I would say you want to rock with Edge Protector on both of your tackles. That is a must. We want to make sure that we've got a Gunslinger QB. I would probably put Gunslinger and Hot Route Master on Drew Brees, and then if you play against a lot of people that have man coverage, Route Technician is really good for you, and if you go up against a lot of zone coverage, I do kind of prefer to go with something like Post Up on both of my guards. Just give me a little bit more time to beat the zone, so that's kind of some tips for that on offense. Now on defense, we definitely could put a little bit of work on this defense as well. Ryan Kerrigan at left end, that's actually a solid move to make. He's gonna have Myles Garrett at a 94 overall, Denzel, Trey Waynes, and Deion Sanders, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Taylor Mays to round out the secondary, as well as, of course, Eddie Jackson. Now, we're probably not going to touch the corners, as I would say these corners are all good enough to get by. They're all passable. I don't know if you have the full Deion Sanders right there. If you don't have full Deion Sanders, that could potentially be an upgrade. I feel like one place we can upgrade is going to be Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, I think you can actually get to a higher overall version. He's also got Leroy Glover, not at a 99 overall. You could do that fairly cheaply. And as we go over the safeties could definitely be upgraded as well. I would say strong safety is probably your first order of business. You're a little bit more of a budget team, so someone like Jamal Adams powered up could be really good for you. Those Team of the Year players, they are selling at basically training value right now, so you're getting insane value if you pick up someone like Jamal, and that will be a great upgrade for you over Taylor Mays. Alright, boys, now next up we've got a 96 overall team, and this team is actually fairly interesting. I was taking a little bit of a sneak peek at it before we got into it, and let's go over the offense right here, starting it off with Brett Favre, aka Mr. Wrangler Jeans at QB, Alvin Kamara, Marvin, Isaac, and Randy at wide receiver. That is perfect. That is really good. Now, Darren Waller at tight end, and the offensive line is maybe where we could do a little bit of work. I would say if we want to upgrade some of these offensive linemen, we might go for a couple of the other Team of the Year players, or maybe some of the muddy rows. So maybe at left tackle, we do something like Tyron Smith powered up for a little bit of a boost. If you want an upgrade at center or left guard, these aren't mandatory at all. Maybe we do something like Quentin Nelson, maybe we do something like Corey Lindsey at center. Those are just optional just because those 96s are selling for such a cheap price right now. So if you want to capitalize and upgrade the O-line, that could be a solid decision. I probably wouldn't touch those skill positions because they are really good. Now the defense is also going to be looking pretty nice as well. William Jackson, Bryce Callahan, and Deion Sanders at the cornerback group. I like all those corners. We're probably not going to adjust any of them. He's got Darnell Savage, Derwin James, and Jamal Adams at safeties. I was a big fan of Darnell Savage back in the day, so I honestly don't know that I would adjust those. I would probably recommend you power up Lawrence Taylor, and we might want to upgrade at left end. I'm assuming you probably don't even play with your left end. You probably do play with Leroy Glover, so make sure he's up to a 99 overall. Otherwise, we're going to power up that LT card, and this team is looking pretty good right now. You're kind of in a weird situation where you've got a lot of good players, but you don't have like the best players in the game. So if you're looking to make those upgrades to some of the best players in the game, like maybe we go for someone like Justin Reed at free safety, we go for someone like Eric Berry at strong safety. These are upgrades you can make, and I feel like you're kind of one player away at most of those positions. So whichever position you feel like is most important for you, you could start going to some of those best players in the game and those upper tier echelon cards on defense. But otherwise, I like what you did here. Now moving right along to the final team in the video. If you didn't get included, be sure to scroll down and leave a like. If you leave a like, I will definitely do another part to this one. There was like 100 people that tried to get into this video, so a very competitive landscape, and if you weren't included, I'm sorry. Now this final team right here is submitted by Twitter user BallsDeepNYM, and he has Brett Favre at QB, AK at running back. Love those two players right there. Brett Favre, I hope we get a new 2 QB that can rival him, because I honestly don't love him. For now, he's the best, but I'm hoping we get another QB pretty soon. Julio wide receiver, love Julio, love Terry as well. Two really good receivers that played nice for me. Santana Moss, I actually haven't used that this year. He has the slot archetype, so that's a good thing. I don't know if you're running a part Washington football theme team. It looks like you could be. Vernon Davis at tight end. The offensive line is looking really, really good. I would say maybe if you want to upgrade a wide receiver, you could, but I believe if you are running a 25 Washington football theme team, you should be okay with Santana Moss. So let's take a look at the defense. Now on defense, we are looking quite nice as well. Darius Slay at corner, he's got Justin Reed, he's got Antonio Cromartie and Brian Poole. The secondary looks awesome. I absolutely love Eric Berry, Isaiah Simmons, Justin Reed, and Derwin James. That's basically as good as it gets. Derek Thomas is actually a really underrated pass rusher. I'm assuming you pass rush with him and Jadeveon Clowney. He's also gonna have Michael Strahan, who I actually do quite like as well, as kind of a defensive tackle role. I would say in terms of upgrades to this team, we might want to upgrade Antonio Cromartie. I'm not a huge fan of that card. I would honestly probably bump Deion Sanders up to cornerback 3 and slide Antonio Cromartie down, but I honestly don't know how to use your scheme. So this team is looking pretty good right now. I don't think I have any other adjustments. We might save our coins for golden tickets, and yeah, that's really gonna do it for me, boys. We're gonna rate this team with a 2 out of 10 just because I don't like this guy on Twitter. But until next time, boys, I'm out. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
So,